Hello everyone and welcome back. First off, a happy new year, happy 2023 to everyone. I think it's 2023. Yeah, I hope the year gets better for everyone. So, another video about Yahaha. Apparently I'm still working on the space. I'm in the final stages basically. Everything works kind of, or the interesting parts work, and I'm here to show you like the latest things that I did. For example, I added a healing draught item. It's an item which can be consumed to regain 40% of maximum life. So yeah, just a healing potion. And the special thing about this is that I did a small nodegraph for this, which is on every mob, and it is it's a nodegraph that spawns whenever the mob dies and there is a chance that the item drops. So instead of just having the definite drop, it rolls a dice basically, or rolls a die and checks if the mob actually drops this. As you can see, there's a bit of an update to the nodegraph, so the hover over now gives us a bit more information about the different nodes. There's a few nodes. There's a new node system kind of, so you can still work like normal, but there's also the register thing. So right now there's a few things that work differently. In this case, I can basically make abilities on key. I basically can make the on key down node work with a bit of a setup that checks basically if player spawns, then what avatar is rigged to that player, and then whenever that avatar's player presses a key, it records that key and gives and does something with it. In this case, there will be some abilities, and I even got far enough to rig this to basically different classes, which will be represented with items you can, or the players can pick up. So this is a thing which I'm still working. I'm still working on the actual the system for that. Right now I'm working on the dropping nodegraph, which works very simple. First off, the nodegraph rolls a die on a 0 or 0 to 1, so on a 50% basis, to drop to regulate the, or to grab the coordinates of the character that died, of the mob that died. And as you can see, each mob gets the same nodegraph, so the nodegraph just checks where did the mob die. Then it rolls a die if it drops the item in front or behind the mob, and then it has a 35% chance to drop the healing draught, which we will test right now. And you can see that the mobs actually drop the healing draughts. So so far this works. Yeah, not every mob drops a healing draught. As you can see, I'm also having the leveling system in place here. I'm not 100% sure if this will make it to the final game, because I'm still having to work out how the leveling actually works. Do I have to fight the mob, or is everyone who is in the vicinity of the mob when it dies getting the experience? This is something I haven't figured out yet. This is something I'm currently playing around with, so I'm not 100% sure if there's actually a leveling component, but if there is, this will go to like, I don't know, level 6 or something, with increasing stats, obviously, so that the the bigger dungeon in the end, the temple dungeon, will be more interesting to play, will be a bit more challenging. Yeah, this was a test for me to see if the revival node worked. So I did a very simple node that also checked on 0 HP, that delayed 3 seconds, and then revived the, or was about to revive the fish. Only thing that is interesting is I have to actually grab not only the fish but also from the fish the character, the character, which in this case I'm still looking for. It's not the entity, it's the character what I'm looking for, but at this point I was not really sure what I was looking for. I had to look it up in another space, which gives me a bit of time to actually talk about some other stuff that I have worked on. There will be a few nodegraphs way down. What I also did is I worked apparently on keydown nodegraph, so I coded a simple ability which on keydown, in the case of the first ability, spawns an X that deals some damage to every non-player character it hits. Yeah, and that's basically the second part of this video. So right here I had the whole thing actually installed, so I had to just look up which node I used, and as you can see, this is the character node. Yeah, I had to look up which one it actually is, and it's in the Yahaha character API, obviously, but I could have thought on that by myself. Other than that, yeah, this is really basic. So, and it didn't occur to me to actually just test it there, and the same. Yeah, sometimes I'm so in the flow that I went back to the project I'm currently working on. I finished building the Nodegraph, I think. Did I? Yeah, I did, with a bit of a break apparently in between. But yeah. Yeah, but currently I can't make that work, which, yeah. I hope this will, I'm pretty sure this will come in one of the future updates, so yeah, something to look forward to. Yeah, and the set hit points node also doesn't work like intended, I think. So yeah, that's that, and I hope this will come in the future. Okay, and the second part of the video is about the actual ability that I made. So this is a rather complex node graph that does the following. So it checks if a player spawns, it checks what avatar is connected to that player, and next thing it checks if a certain key is pressed. In this case I chose the E key because it's next to WASD, so it's next to the movement controls. And the whole setup is made that furthermore it checks in the inventory of the avatar of the player if there is a certain item, in this case one of the badges that I just made, so that there's 3 badges, warrior, ranger and healer. And right now the node graph is not as complex as it is later on, so it basically checks which badge is present, and then it executes one of 3 abilities. This video will show, or is showcasing the warrior ability, which is basically spawning a big X that deals damage to the mobs in front of the player. of the player, but only if the warrior badge is in the inventory, which is what I have currently set up. So for the test run, for the first test run, I actually connected the wrong node here. I connected not the avatar but the player node, so this obviously doesn't work on the first try. But yeah, this is kind of how this all works. So there's the warrior badge. Later in the game you will get them exclusively, so you can only get one, and you get them by stepping on a certain platform. So this is something that I will set up in the close future, basically later today. But with the badge nothing happens because I connected the wrong buttons. So here this is the first I tested this with a print in between, so I could see that the node actually fires, and as we can see in a second, yes, it does, but there is a wrong connection. So all we have to do is make the right connection, which we're doing right now, and this is the final thing. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you guys around in the rest of the year. Until then, stay healthy, stay safe. I wish everyone a very good 2023. May it be better than last year for all of us in a global sense. And yeah, thanks for dropping by.